What's up, everybody? It's another episode of BlackNerdPlanet.
Yo, what up? It's your boy M.
It's me, Jordan. It's episode 68. I just wrote it down and almost forgot. And then all that being said, it's a new day. We're here. And I'm just going to ask you how you been, man.
Yeah, I've been, just chilling, working and stuff. The same old. Been playing that Ultimate Alliance. And
Ultimate Alliance.
That's pretty much it, really. I try to get on that Goose Game a little bit, but it ain't last very long.
It's not hidden, no.
It's a task that I gotta do, and I just don't understand how I'm supposed to do it.
Oh, it's kind of like that makes me think of like Hitman or something.
Yeah.
Like you gotta. Well, I don't think you killing anybody in the Goose
Nah,
Game.
You just gotta. It's like you gotta. The one that is making that's hard for me. It's like make the farmer wear a sun hat.
No. Okay, so explain. I don't even know how far you're playing Untitled Goose Game. So like, what do you think the objective of the game is?
I mean, it's just really to be an obnoxious goose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like geese are obnoxious, and they just are obnoxious for like, they won't move out the way when you drive in your car. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think so. It's just like, fuck with everybody over here. Mess with this person. Throw their phone in the water. Just stuff like that. That's like basically the point. Just being a goofy little obnoxious goose.
That sounds cool to me.
It's
kind of like a puzzle game, I guess, is what it sounds like. Really,
do stuff. So it's like I said, it's like one of the tasks is like make the little farmer dude wear his sun hat or take his keys, or you know what I'm saying? Just little tasks like that you have to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know how am I supposed to make him wear his sun hat. I don't know. So I turn it off.
I've seen like small clips, but I haven't really seen anybody do anything actually constructive. Every time I see any gameplay, it's just people like honking at like random civilians.
And that's pretty much all you can do is like honk and pick stuff up anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just pretty much just like I said, just being obnoxious, just running around messing with people, bothering people and stuff, taking their little wallet, radio, whatever you can pick up.
Is it like open world-ish, or is it like set places?
It's like it's like like the little first part. It's like open, I guess, cause it is open, but they like blocked off. It's like gates going to other areas, and I guess you probably got to finish all the tasks for one area before you can go to another area. Like I said, I mean, I haven't actually done all the tasks on the one part on the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So all the little, cause it's like park gates, you know what I'm saying? Like the little fence. Mm-hmm. It's just a bunch of locked gates that you can't get past, probably to go to other parts of whatever.
Just like a random like town or stuff you in. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a cool concept, or just something just to like BS around. I guess.
Some kind of mindless play, just like
a
light puzzle. But I don't know if I'd even say it's light, cause maybe I just can't do puzzles. But I just don't know how I'm supposed to make him put that hat on, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, I hate when stuff like that happens, cause it just makes you feel dumb a little bit, because it's obviously there's a solution somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And some puzzle games are meant to be hard, but I haven't heard anybody say that this game's like difficult or whatever. But sometimes they can just be like that one thing that you're missing, or you just somehow don't see.
Yeah, I just missing it. Yeah, because like I said, I don't know. It's like hanging up on the door. So first of all, you got to try to like knock it down off the door to even reach. I don't know, man. Whatever. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I saw it's still like the number one seller on Switch right now, at least for like the last week. Which it's $15 or $20 or whatever. 15. So it's been a lot of internet buzz on it, so I'm not surprised. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to play it, but I don't know. If it's like 10, I will. But
yeah.
I can't from you saying it like it's cool, but you're not like, oh man.
But also, I guess I got stuff that I want to play right now too, kinda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
it's
I
on
don't.
the back burner.
Yeah, I don't have. I guess I don't even know why. Maybe just because people was talking about how cool it was, what made me want to even try to get it. But yeah, I've been playing Ultimate Alliance again. So,
how far do you think you are in that?
Well, I played online with my little cousin. And because we did the story mode together, you know, you got to watch the cutscenes. And if you ain't seen these cutscenes yet, then we can't go past that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we basically had to start from the beginning, which I realized wasn't that much further than where I am. So, like, we did like 2 boss fights maybe. Mm-hmm. Or 2 like mini boss fights or whatever. Yeah, I would say they was mini boss fights. And then we was on the mission before where I am on there or whatever. And then I had to go do something. So I didn't get to finish. We didn't get to the actual part that I needed help on. Because that's why I was trying to recruit somebody. But I knew my uncle had it. And his daughter, my cousin, she basically confiscated it from him. She played more than he did. So funny. I hit her up and be like, hey, man, what you doing? You want to play this game with me?
Is this like a point of the game where you, like, I don't know, is there like grind? Is like a bit of grinding you need to do? Or just like your stats aren't high enough at this point? Okay.
Yep, because that's the reason why I think I was having so much trouble in the first place. Because when I was playing it earlier today, I ended up beating the boss that I was on that was giving me so much trouble during the week. But it was only because me and her ran through the first part of the game again together. Okay. And my little squad that I was running with got to level up some more.
Yeah, I know there is like a lot of stats and stuff on there.
It's like a, what they call it, like a tree. You know, like a stat tree that you got to mess with. Then you got each character's like individual little stats that you can mess with. And it's a lot of like statistics and stuff, like a whole lot of numbers and stuff. But it's cool,
that's cool. Yeah, that's something that it's one of those things. If you're not in the mood to be like, oh, who's going to do what and what, and like optimizing who's such and such and all that or whatever.
Yeah, and right now, since I'm still at the beginning, I'm pretty much running with the same squad that I started with before I stopped playing it, basically. So they all like level 14, between like 13 and 14 now, but that's only because I just been playing with them, you know what I'm saying? But no specific reason, like, oh, I need this guy on my team right now or whatever.
Nobody makes like, I don't even like how, or any situations you feel like you need to use different people because like they powers and stuff, like certain enemies might be better.
And and the fight that I just had to finish, the one that, like I said, was giving me so much trouble, I needed some range, so I swapped out like one person because I was running with originally, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know. But my squad right now is Scarlet Witch, Venom, Wolverine, and Spider-Gwen.
Okay.
Spider-Gwen wasn't running with me in the beginning. I just had started running with her before me and my cousin started playing, because she has some pretty nice ranged shots or whatever, ranged moves also. And that's what I needed at the time. But now I just like her as a character. You know what I'm saying? So she on my team right now.
Okay. That's fair.
That's what I've been spending my time on, besides like Apex, which
same old story there. You ain't getting any like wins or feeling like you getting better at the game or anything?
I don't know if I would say I'm necessarily improving in skill, but I suppose we've been getting like a couple wins there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been winning more often this season, I think, than I have since I've been playing the game.
That's curious. Like, because I haven't been playing, do you feel like the changes that they made have made like a difference, or you kind of feel like it's still the same?
I think it has, in the way like that it changes up the guns and stuff that you want to run with. You know what I'm saying? Where before you might pick up this gun for this reason. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people, even between like me and Mo, sometimes will run with the G Scout. Now it's not just like, oh, the G Scout, you know, like how it was before. So I think that yes, those changes and the map changes, like geographically, how it's set up, kind of makes you, it
play style a little different.
You gotta play a little different.
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't been. I don't think I played it since like the first couple of days of the update coming out, and I've kind of like I almost played it like yesterday, but I was like, man, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what it is. I think I honestly I don't hate the map from like the little bit I played, but I don't feel like I liked it enough for me to be like I want to get back in so far. But also, it's just been a lot of Monster Hunter and stuff, and been busy with other things though. So
yeah, and I mean the map is cool. I don't know. I don't think I like it better than the old map or whatever. But the rank system and stuff, and how we was talking about that is kind of what's making me want to play more.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it enough to give any kind of opinion to it, but I'll take your word for it. Because stuff like that does matter in those games, especially if you're dying a lot and you want to feel like you're doing something. Like we used to say with like Fortnite, a good deal is just having those achievements to try to get forward, go towards
challenges and stuff. Yeah,
not feeling like you're wasting your time completely. What was I about to say? Well, unless you had something else you might have thought of.
Nah, that's it. You could take over. Tell them what you've been up to. Tell me, I suppose.
Well, I realized we haven't really, introduced what we talk about on this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of take it for granted. Because maybe somebody is new and hasn't heard us before.
I mean, but what you mean, though? Introduce what we saying, like...
Just what we talk about on the show. This is a whole aside in between. No, we talk about. It's just a general thing. We talk about what we've been playing, and if we've been watching stuff or just life stories. Maybe if anything's actually interesting, that's not crazy personal. I guess, yeah. But it's just a general or talking about news and current event news and games and stuff. And not talking about too many super ridiculous things. Like we've said, I'm not a salesman. But we like talking about this stuff. But for me, stop being awkward for that little half a second. Game wise for me, like I said, I've really only been playing Monster Hunter and like a little bit of Dragon Quest. Because I've been like this last week, I've been doing a lot of improv, like class stuff. So I haven't really even had time for anything besides the going to work and going home type crap and like, oh, my life, being dramatic. But because like I said last week, I got through the end of the main part of Monster Hunter, and now I'm in the new like post game area. Where essentially, and I kind of explained it last week, but I hadn't seen it for myself yet. But what they basically did, and they didn't advertise it, which I thought was really cool because it didn't set like expectations for anybody.
Yeah.
Which was like, I get to me, it was cool. I don't know how other people feel on like on a broader, scale, but in the game, there's, set areas like there's a volcano area, like the Elder Recess area. Then there's the Ancient Forest. And then they put in the Hoarfrost, like ice, snow level. And then there's the nasty, rotten, whatever the hell, canyon looking place. And then there's like a more bright coral, what's it called? Coral Highlands or something. But it's like whatever, the 5-6 areas. But in the post game, there's a place called the Guiding Lands, which is like a whole other island. But it kind of, think about it, just basically an island and all those different places they combine into one. It's like, it's not the exact same layout of those maps. Like, it's not like they just copied and pasted.
Yeah.
It is like, generally like, the same looking things and stuff, but there's variations on those looks. So it's basically like, I thought about it as like Jurassic Park or something. Like that's what made me think of.
Yeah.
Where it's like they start you off in the forest area and then you just, walk into like the desert area or whatever, and then you'll walk into like the coral area and stuff like that. And you have to figure out which way everything is. And instead of like typically, there's like a kind of a set monster that's gonna be in an area at a certain time, but this one is kind of like general speaking of like they tell you what monsters are gonna be there, but the other ones can just like pop in at any time. So it's like you never really know like who's gonna be there. And then like you level up each area to like get higher levels of like much items and stuff, gathering items, or like higher level like monsters coming in and stuff like that. And there's different items you got to get in this area, and just a whole bunch of like higher ranked stuff than even like you were doing in the main game. But I haven't done a great deal of that, but it's pretty cool how they did it, because it's like it's bringing like a cool spin on the formula, I guess. And they've never done anything like this before in Monster Hunter, so it's been pretty cool. I was having some trouble on there though, where these monsters were just like kicking my ass, and I was just like not exactly sure why, besides maybe I'm just trash at the game or something. But I'm trying to learn the we were talking about, I don't know if we had said on the show, but the insect glaive, which is what you had been using. So I'm trying to learn that, which is like the acrobatic like mounting weapon on there, and it's like fast and all that stuff. So I'm trying to learn that, but yeah, if so far it's like okay, but I haven't got to the point where I'm like confident with it. And I'm just trying to do different stuff on there and get some more variation. Yeah. And with like Dragon Quest, I'm still like 10 or so hours into that, and the story's starting to pick up, and the characters are like really like charming, and the dialogue's pretty fun. But I can't really go into too much detail now without spoiling the story. But I'm having a good time on there. I had realized I hadn't been playing it throughout the week, but I played a few more hours this past weekend, so it's been cool. We had the like I was saying at Improv, we had the show this past Friday, and it was pretty cool. And I was on stage a good deal, so I was I was excited, but I also had like a lot of like freaking anxiety throughout the week for some weird reason. And I was like, why do I feel this way? Like, I don't know. Yeah. And it was less people on stage this time, so it was like a lot more focus on like, a fewer amount of people. So I'm like, man, I can't go up there and look dumb. Yeah. But it worked out, man. It's just funny how your mind can just take you in so many places, and then I get there, it's like I just have to, what I'm saying, I know what I'm doing, but it's just one of those things. And I feel like a lot of people have those situations though, where
for sure,
putting your mind in a weird space for no good reason at all. But yeah, it's been about it, man. This past weekend I was alone because my family, my wife and the girls went to Girl Scout trip. So I was just home alone, so I had to find like stuff to do. So I was like, man, it's just so weird. Like, you can be like, man, I just want to be alone sometimes. And then you're alone and like, damn, man, I'm kind of it's kind of quiet. Like, where's the normal commotion? Like, me and the cat are not gonna say anything, do too much. So that was pretty funny. It's like, man, I hadn't been like knowing out. Usually if they're just like gone like to like some random place, that's one thing. But knowing they're like an hour or two away, I was like, oh man. And like they were camping, and like they didn't have any phone signal thanks to T-Mobile's coverage. Yeah. So you T-Mobile, man, you go in the one little area of town, it's no bar. Man. So that forest, I couldn't get a hold of them at all. It was like the one time where I was like, man, maybe I do need Verizon or something. But that's really all it's been up with me, man. Nothing too crazy. This weather's gotten crazy. Give us another BlackNerdPlanet weather update.
It's cold outside,
man.
It's
cold, man. It's like, it's October now.
It's supposed to be cold.
Good grief.
It was just, the problem was that it was like 80 degrees last week.
Yeah, and it was just like, whoop. Yeah. I don't know what happened. It's like, hey, I got to bring out the old hoodies and the pea coat. That's how you know when black people cold now, when they bring the pea coat out.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I don't even know what that is, honestly.
Oh, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it's just like the casual, like, button-down coat that's like the wool coat, basically.
That substitute teacher coat.
Yeah.
I got it now.
Oh, shoot.
I don't have one of those. I don't think I've reached that level yet in my life.
Man, everybody wearing them now. They ain't even no big deal. It used to be fancy. Now it's just like wearing a Pelly coat.
I never had a whole Pelly.
I didn't either.
Them mugs them mugs was cool. There's nothing wrong with them, but yeah, it's just funny.
Missed that way.
Yeah. I wasn't on that train on that one.
Well, I think that means we can move on to the news that's been going on. It's not been too much.
Yeah, it's been kind of slow. It's a in between time.
Yeah, like games are about to come out and companies are ramping up for next year, and I mean we already know like everything that's about to happen really.
Mm-hmm.
But Sony dominated the news this week, kind of like how they did last week with all the people leaving the company and stuff. This past week, for people that do play on PlayStation 4, the 7.0 update came out, which it's kind of big, kind of not. It kind of depends on what you care about. So there's a new, they updated the party system on PS4. Now you can have 16 people in the party chat instead of just 8, which is cool, I guess. I don't have that many friends. And then they talk about network connectivity, audio improved, and basically just stuff like that. And then remote play, you can play PS4 remotely on your Android phones now if you have 5.0. And it's been on the iPhone and the iPads for a little bit, but you got to update to like iOS 13 and stuff. So, and you can use, your DualShock 4 controller and it runs through Bluetooth and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you're interested in doing remote play on your phone at all?
No.
Yeah. I see it and I'm just like, maybe I'll try it. But I'm just like, man, I just can't. Like, I don't. It's just too many pieces. Like, you gotta get my phone and a controller. Like,
I just play with a controller, man. It's cool.
Regular old tube.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious on how many people are interested in a remote play because I don't hear people talk about anybody really doing anything. Like, we talked about it with like the Vita and stuff, and how that was kind of damn near a secret that you could even do it, but. I wonder how many people care about this at all.
Yeah.
They also, Facebook is not on the Sony, on the PS4 right now either. They took it off a few days ago. Basically, some things happen with like third party, like data distribution and like access to data and all this different stuff. So they just have to work out a new contract. So if you cared about Facebook on your PlayStation, it's not there right now, which I kind of cared because I would try to upload videos sometimes, but half the time they wouldn't even upload anyway. So like, wow, okay. So it kind of sucks a little bit because that was like one of the cool things, like easy knowing who was who and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it's not there right now, but it probably will be soon. Nothing too crazy. The big news though is that they officially announced that the next PlayStation is the PS5, and it will be coming out holiday season 2020. When they did give a few details to Wired.com, which I'm on GameSpot looking at the essentials. One key thing they said was that the next DualShock controller is going to have haptic rumble technology, which basically is just going to be supposedly better rumble. Something that probably we won't even think about when it's actually like in our hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're like, oh, you're gonna be able to feel all the textures and the cars rumbling and blah blah blah. I'm like, I thought that's what I was supposed to feel already.
It's different now. It ain't rumble. It's haptic.
Yeah, the HD rumble and the Switch. That I don't even think I've really even felt that too much. Like I feel it sometimes in certain games, but I don't even really pay attention to it.
Yeah.
And Mario Odyssey, it was a thing because like you would try to find the moons and stuff in like certain like secret spots, and it would be like use the rumble to figure it out. But and even only games that it might even really matter is say like racing games and that kind of feeling the road and stuff like that.
And I think they do it on Mortal Kombat too, like for punches and getting hit and stuff.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I haven't noticed that, but. It's always goofy, like with the, when new systems come out, they, all the stuff they try to sell you with and blah, blah, blah. There was the main details that came from them talking about PS5 besides it coming out next holiday season, which is, the rumors and stuff. and it actually being called PS5. The disc drive is going to be, you can actually use 4K Blu-rays this time, which is cool. I don't know why the Pro didn't use 4K. They're just kind of like half 4K.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't understand that. Like the Xbox One X can use 4K for real. The discs that are going to be made for games are going to be 100 gigs now. I think right now they're like 60 gigs maybe. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's pretty important because the games are getting huge. Because I know Red Dead was 2 discs, I believe. Because you had, did you use the physical version?
No,
or you
I
used
had
the digital?
Yeah, I had a digital.
I think Final Fantasy VII Remake's supposed to be 2 discs too when it comes out in March. I'm sure Cyberpunk's probably going to be 2 discs. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. And they say they're still going to have mandatory game installations, but this time they're going to be more sufficient about, say, if a game has like multiplayer, then you can just download that, or you can just download single players. You're not wasting all that space.
Yeah.
Like when you get like Call of Duty or something and you're like 200 gigs in for like, and all you maybe want to play is multiplayer or something like that. So that's pretty important, I would think. I'm curious, what do you think the systems, because they haven't said this yet, what I'm about to ask you, how many gigabytes or, how much storage do you think they should have when they come out? Like, they damn near need more than a terabyte now on a regular.
2. I'd say like 2 or 3, like a 3 terabyte, like regular version, I guess, and then like go up from there.
Like 3 terabyte is like, because I mean 2 would be okay. Yeah. But even, like you said, like 3 is damn near like the minimum, because like we just said, if a game is, 100 gigabytes, you know what I'm saying? How many games?
I mean, because just thinking about it, like, okay, when I got that, because, I had got that new PlayStation Pro or whatever, and that was a terabyte. Mm-hmm. But I also already had a terabyte hard drive.
External, yeah.
Yeah, and then both of those are full, basically, at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of games, and they come out with free games all the time and stuff. But like you said, I mean, with Red Dead being like 100 gigs, that's just one game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's 25% of the storage right there.
And then DLCs for games.
Exactly.
Everything like that.
Whatever other game you want to play, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, they bring out a free game every month, which I downloaded them this month because it's MLB The Show 19 and whatever other one is. But it's Last of Us Remastered.
Last of Us Remastered, yeah.
Yeah, and I obviously wanted to download those or at least have them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, as soon as I clicked on download, like, you don't got enough space for that, my brother. You're going to have to come on back. Go ahead, try it again.
Yeah, I think we missed mentioning that last week or week before. But yeah, if you don't have the free games on PlayStation Plus for October, you need to get them.
MLB The Show 19 and Last of Us Remastered.
Yes. That's a really good month.
Yeah, that's tight. I downloaded it, and I tried to play that MLB. I mean, I suck at playing baseball games because I never play them or nothing. But
yeah, I had got MLB The Show 14 and 15 maybe, and I suck at like batting. I can do the pitching, but the batting, I'm horrible.
Yeah, it's all about that timing and stuff, and picking the right batting style and all that other stuff. It's a lot more complicated to play as a game.
Yeah, it
than any other sport games, I guess, besides like hockey maybe.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I was not good.
Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, I think at least 3 terabytes on the new system, or no less, especially like you said, if they making them, the discs are gonna be larger gigs, too. I think so. Definitely 3 should be the minimum.
Yeah, like with the installation, settings or however you want to call it that you can do on the PS5. I mean, that'll help a little bit, but even then, like, graphics are getting so much better and audio is getting richer. So all those things are just add up. One thing I think is cool, which I called it the DualShock, but they haven't gave it a name yet, supposedly. But the controller will have USB-C connectivity instead of like that weird micro USB type thing they use. But USB-C is kind of like the new wave with a lot of electronic devices. Like the Switch uses it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to use because it's not like the micro USB where that just broke easy.
Yeah, it's a thicker little piece on there or whatever.
Kind of like an oval shape.
Them micro USBs don't last at all.
Yeah. And USB-C also, you don't have to worry about like what side to flip the cord or something, which I think is pretty cool. There's gonna be ray tracing in the GPU. I don't know what the hell ray tracing means, so I'm just gonna act like a not that nerdy this time. And there's gonna be a new UI that's gonna give you more details on what you can play at any time. Will allow you to see more details on what you can play at any time, as well as more on what your friends are doing. So I guess you can be a little more of a snoopy person. One big thing that game-wise that is confirmed, Blue Point, which is like a studio that works close with Sony, I believe they own them, but they did like remakes of the Shadow of the Colossus, and they also put together the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, which was the first 3 games put together. So they're pretty established in like re-upping games and, quality stuff, but they did say they're gonna have like a major game coming out at launch for PS5 next year. So no sign if that's gonna be like a remake or if they're making their own game or anything like that. A lot of people online were like, oh man, maybe they'll do like Demon Souls, which is basically the first Dark Souls game that was only on PS3, which would be cool because that's the only one that hasn't like been remastered in a way. Yeah. Unlike the 1 and 2 got essentially. So that'd be pretty cool. I don't know what I would really want them to do. I know we kind of talked about it in the past a little bit what we would want remastered wise. I'm curious, since they work with a lot of PlayStation games, what could they do? I'm not exactly sure. But we'll probably see it probably in a few months, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting.
They still obviously aren't saying a whole bunch of stuff. Still like, yeah, maybe. But here's most of this information about hardware stuff and all the hardware specs. So by that time, a couple months down the line, they'll probably start talking about, games and stuff or what other kind of stuff is going to be on there, like software wise.
Yeah, and also we did talk about in the past, there's going to be the solid state drives in the PS5s, which those allow video games to like load faster. And, they're talking a lot about load times being better for, even older games. So that's going to be pretty cool. I know my buddies Adam and Matt got SSDs just because. Like, Adam got it for Monster Hunter, so the missions will load faster. I'm like, what a geek. But yeah, it's cool that they're getting this information out, though, because, like, when I like watching the E3 presentations, and a lot of times they would do that on stage and be like, yeah, we're going to have all this blah, blah, blah. And everybody's like, okay, I just want to see what games you're going to have. So it's cool that they're getting all this information out the way now. And then later they can just talk about all the cool stuff that we're actually going to be able to play on the system, which is all we care about. All the internal stuff is just kind of noise, I guess. Yeah.
Just cool information. Yeah. Especially when you don't even know what half the stuff is that they say.
Basically. It's all just trying to sell me, like when they talk about the new iPhone. Apple talks about new iPhones or something. This is the Bionic. Like, all right, man. I know you don't care about Doom too much, and I don't care about Doom too much, but some people do. And Doom Eternal was supposed to come out this year, but it got delayed until March. They, Bethesda, or id Software, I should say, they're under Bethesda. They put out on Twitter basically saying our goal has been to deliver a game that exceeds your greatest expectations across the board. To make sure we're delivering the best experience, Doom Eternal, for it to live up to the standards of speed and polish, we've made the decision to extend our launch by a few months to March 20th, 2020, which is also the day Animal Crossing comes out. We know many fans will be disappointed by this delay, but we are confident that Doom Eternal will deliver a game experience that is worth the wait. They also said there's going to be an invasion mode, which kind of sounds okay, I guess, which will allow you to enter another player's game as a playable demon. and that's gonna be a free update after the game comes out. There's gonna be a Nintendo Switch version, but that's not gonna be out the same day as the bigger consoles and PC. And also, you can get Doom 64 for free if you pre-order Doom Eternal, which is okay, I guess. But yeah, like I said, we don't care about Doom too much. I know you're like, ooh, I didn't care about.
I like that it's 2020. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know, you like how I slicked in the Animal Crossing coming out that day, which is pretty goofy. But
2020.
You know, and typically, you know, fall time, you know, there's some good games coming out in the fall. But, you know, last week we had mentioned how the beginning of 2020 has a lot of stuff. And I kind of forgot everything that's going to be coming out, but pulled up the list because, you know, you can do that on the internet these days. Beginning of next year, like things that I'm interested in, the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game, that action RPG comes out in January 17th. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered comes out January 23rd. Yakuza 5 Remastered is February 11th. There's going to be Last of Us 2 is February 21st. That God and Monsters game from Ubisoft comes out February. There's the Iron Man VR game I'm kind of actually want to see about. Comes out in February. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is March 3rd. Watch Dogs Legion is March 6th.
That's what I want to play. That's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah, they haven't said anything else about it lately. But they did give like a good amount of info those past months. Then, yeah, like I was saying, Animal Crossing comes out March 20th. Doom Eternal, yeah, that got moved to March 20th. And then after that, April is Cyberpunk 2077. Trials of Mana, April. And then Marvel's Avengers comes out in May. So that's like a pretty decent beginning of the next year.
Pretty stacked spring, winter, into winter, springtime.
Which Doom, you know, Doom has a dedicated fan base. And, you know, id Software, Bethesda. It's kind of also goes in hand with the fact that Bethesda's kind of been struggling, though. And like not even struggling, but they just kind of made a few people upset.
Yeah.
It's like the new Wolfenstein game that came out, I think back in like July maybe or August or something. That kind of went to the wayside where people are just like, well, this is nothing that we wanted. Like we don't want this at all.
Yeah.
And Fallout 76 is still around, but there's like the dedicated people playing that, but that wasn't the game people were hoping for overall. So Bethesda and like id and them are just kind of in this weird space. Like people are excited for Doom because the last one was, you know, went to a lot of praise. But I mean, it's good that they care to make it a good game though.
Yeah, for sure.
And not just put it out because these days it doesn't take too long for the internet to get on your head.
Be like, man, it sucks. Wow.
This isn't Doom at all. But yeah, I don't know. I've never experienced it too much to give it anything besides I'm glad they care.
Yeah.
What did I have here? Fortnite, which we have not really talked about too much, but Fortnite Season 10, I guess, is going to end this week. And by the time most of you hear this, Season 11 is going to be out, I guess, which is bringing in a new map. Essentially, they're talking about a black hole is just going to take over the old map in that world. And then you're starting from a whole new map, which is, I guess, a cool way to, you know, bring everybody into something different.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of, you know, community going back and forth about was this Season 10 good or not. Because they had, like, the robots and whatever the hell else had been going on.
I have no idea. I haven't been playing Fortnite at all.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I really saw people were upset about, was like the robots were kind of unbalanced and just whatever changes they have made. So it's curious that they're going to a whole new map for the next season because, you know, that's going to be it's not make or break, but, you know, once again, the internet's going to, if it's anything negative, those are the only things you're going to hear about.
Yeah, and I wonder if it has anything to do with Apex basically getting a new map. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of being current and being like, all right, we had a map long before they even existed.
Yeah.
And now they got a whole new map. That's 2 new maps. No, it's our turn. We coming up with a new map now. Especially since that one area in Apex new map kind of looks like Tilted Towers or whatever. So it's like, man, y'all gonna copy us like that? Well, forget it.
It's pretty my bad.
Nah, it was the end of it.
It's just kind of goofy because Fortnite still gets more traffic on the internet in terms of, you know, the community. And like, I know some people are saying the viewing on like Twitch is down a little bit. I don't know how much that has to do with like Ninja and like people doing different stuff, but Apex does decent on the streaming front. Yeah. But in terms of, I don't know, it seems like Fortnite's in I don't want to say holding pattern, but they're just kind of steady. And I feel like Apex went up a little bit, but I'm not even really sure about that. I haven't seen too many people. I've seen people complain about not liking the map, but at the same time, how long is that going to last? I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to say. Yeah. And video game communities can kind of be either really loud or loud in like a quiet place. You know what I mean? Because like, say like the Rainbow Six Siege community. Like there's a lot of people that play that. For sure. But I don't know any of them.
I don't ever hear nothing about it either.
But you know,
anybody even playing it that I know.
Or even like the For Honor people. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of games out there that people are playing, but if you're not in that circle. Yeah. I mean, cause shoot, even Monster Hunter, that and I didn't remember to put it in the thing, but I believe Monster Hunter World overall with the Iceborne sales is over 14.5 million. So I mean that's a lot of damn games. Yeah, for sure. I mean a lot of copies being sold. It's the highest seller for Capcom, which is pretty funny actually, considering the fact that Street Fighter 2 has had like 1,000 iterations over the 20 whatever years it's been around. But the that community is pretty decent, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, but you don't really know nothing about them either.
If you're not in it. So it's funny how that works. It's even with the internet, you know, everybody's always talking about something, but usually people that are enjoying things are too busy enjoying them. Right. So
and not really talking about it.
Which that's why I like going on Reddit though, because you can find the communities you want to be in and just stick to that. And I feel like Reddit's probably one of the more positive places to like talk about things. I don't know if it's the way it's moderated or whatever, because I've grown up getting on Game Facts like most of my like nerdy life, and it's always like trolls and negative people on Game Facts, no matter what like board it is. But like Reddit always seems to be pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know how much you get on Reddit too much. I know I send you links on there sometimes.
Yeah, I got like you know, a few communities that I be in on there or whatever, and just seeing stuff. But yeah, it is just like, I don't know, maybe it's just like, cause it's so underground kind of, you only there in one space, so many communities that you really are only there for whatever you came in there for. So it's like, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's not hard to like troll. You can pretty much troll anywhere. But if you go into a place where everybody is literally talking about this one thing, it's hard for you to be like, man, this sucks. Because you know what I'm saying? You on their turf at this point.
Yeah, and they going to be like, man, if you don't get out of here.
Exactly. So I think that is kind of what it has. I mean, you know, what makes it so cool as a place to go and like figure stuff out. Because people be asking questions on there about stuff. And even like when you Google stuff, sometimes the best place, like the top of the list place to get the information that you're looking for, be Reddit.
Yes, it's definitely, it seems like Reddit, I mean, even like Reddit's like popular. There's millions of people that get on Reddit, but I feel like I'm like the only person that talks about it a lot. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I was on there a lot in like 2014 because I was in a community. It was like spooky stories, basically. Oh, so yeah. I was reading like little stories like that for a while or whatever. But
yeah, it's funny you say that because there are just random groups like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like groups on there that like TIFE, like I guess that means like time I fucked up, and like people talk about like just stuff that they, you know, dumb shit that they've done where like it's either like weird sex stuff or just anything in general. It's just like, how do people come up with these groups? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or people feel like they comfortable enough to talk about it. It's just kind of goofy.
Just being like, yeah, man, one time I slipped up and,
hey.
Yeah. But yeah, Reddit is cool, though.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I got a couple things. Really just one. Ubisoft, I guess, is going to start having some animated series being made. I got this from IGN.com. Ubisoft is developing a new cartoon series based off of Watch Dogs, and they're going to make one based off of Far Cry Blood Dragon. And it's like in the article, the games are M-rated, but these shows are going to be going for younger viewers. Watch Dogs is going to be developed into a cyber mystery aimed at tweens, which was reported by THR, while Blood Dragon will become Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon vibe, a show for young adults. Ubisoft partnered with Adi Shankar for Captain Laserhawk. He's the guy that worked on produced the Castlevania cartoon on Netflix, which is really dope. And if you haven't watched it, you should watch it because it's tight.
It's tight. I've seen the first season, but I think it's 2 seasons on there.
Yeah, I haven't finished season 2.
Me either.
I'm glad you said that because some reason I feel like I did watch it when I brought it up.
It's like, yo, that's the best show, man. Season 2 is so crazy.
Yeah, wait,
what happened on season 2? Now that I'm saying that.
Yeah, that mug is dope.
But no, it is a good show either way, though.
But they say the show is gonna form a basis of a multiverse with other Ubisoft titles, although it's currently unknown if that is to create a tie with the Watch Dogs cartoon or with other unannounced shows. So that's pretty dope. I guess they're also trying to work on a Rayman show. Raymond, the weird looking dude.
No legs.
Yeah, that whatever you want to call him.
He just got feet.
I guess he's a man. He's Rayman. I never got into those games really.
Yeah,
even like the old ones or the new ones. I don't know.
No, the new ones, because the new ones is basically, it's more about them rabbits, Raven Rabbits or whatever. It became like Rayman, Raven Rabbits.
Yeah, that crap.
It changed into something totally different. But yeah, I played a little bit of that. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of them obscure games that either you was playing it or not. Which obviously that's everything. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's pretty cool. They're trying to... It's kind of random, but it's cool. Seeing different properties in different spaces.
Yeah, just kind of getting their hands in all kinds of different buckets, pots, or whatever phrase. I don't know.
And I'm not a tween, but I am interested in cyber mystery, though. That seems pretty cool to
like
me.
Scooby-Doo and the cyber chase to me.
Yeah. That's goofy.
I'll watch it if it's that.
Yeah, man, that's really all I had news-wise. I've been kind of slow, and I've been pretty busy.
Ain't that how it works?
I'm a grown-up. But, yeah, man, I don't know, man. Did you see Joker yet?
No, I'm going to probably watch it this week, though. Not in enough time for us to talk about it now, but, yeah. I was going to try to go the day that we recording this. I'm not going to actually say the date. Played you on that one. But anyway, I was going to try to watch it, but I didn't even get up and, move around for real. Sometimes it'd be slow. And then I had to go to the store.
It's always the store.
Yeah, and by the time, I don't usually go to the store during the day because it'd be jumping, especially like on a Sunday when like 12, like 11 or 12 and all the church people get out of church. Everybody like, all right, done with church. Now we got to hit the store. Hurry up. So it was jumping in there, so it just was quick get in, get out. But, yeah, man, that's it.
Yeah. I got a little game for you.
All right.
It's nothing too crazy, but I thought we'd do something different. It's just, I guess, I don't know if I want to call it lightning round or 10 questions or see what Marlon says. Or this kind of centered around PlayStation.
All right.
I give you 2 options. You choose one or the other, basically.
Kind of like a would you rather situation.
Yeah, nothing, it's not X-rated or nothing, so I'm saving people from that horror. First one, PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 3?
Okay. I had at my house a PlayStation 1, but I was still a kid, so it was like my dad's in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't really have like a full experience with that, so I'm gonna say PlayStation 3. That was basically the only reason I was set.
That was some slow lightning. It's like,
hey, I didn't say I was gonna answer them fast.
All right, next one: PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 4?
4.
All right, PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4?
4, I guess. I jumped on PlayStation 3 train kind of late, so you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I basically was PlayStation 3 and then PlayStation 4 pretty much.
I felt like that was a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know it was me. I got my PS3 with 2010. Like I got it when Uncharted 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Next one: Vice City or San Andreas?
That's a tough one. I think I'm gonna have to go Vice City. San Andreas was fun. It was super tight, but I played a lot more Vice City, and I'm pretty sure I got all the way through Vice City in like a memorable time than I did with San Andreas.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
I think I feel like Vice. Did I beat Vice City? I'm curious to see if they were to have online back then, how many people actually beat those games. Because a lot of people just got to the point where you could just go everywhere and then put the cheat codes in.
Unlocked all the areas.
Because I would try. I know I didn't beat. Did I beat 3? San Andreas, I remember literally getting to like the last or second to last level, and like somehow I just couldn't figure out where to go, and I got mad, and I just didn't care anymore.
I know I didn't beat 3 because that was the first time I had to really like ask my dad, like, yo, can I play this? You know what I'm saying? So I just was playing that just to be playing it, not actually like taking it seriously.
Now, boy, I didn't let you play this game. You ain't gonna tell your mama, okay? Why is he in there shooting people? All right. PSP or Nintendo DS?
PSP.
Curious.
Because I had like which we talked about before, but Killzone was a super fun game for me. Man. And I had a really good time playing that, and Pursuit Force or whatever we decided that game was called.
Man, I didn't have my PSP as long as I should have.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it went through a whole dry period, and I was like, no, there's nothing I want to play on here. And then I just like traded it in.
And you know what, man? Them discs is pretty iconic, man.
Them UMDs, man.
It was stupid, crazy, man. It was such a how they would break and fall apart. The disc would fall out, man. It was such a mess.
I still remember bugging my mom at Target to give me the Family Guy disc or whatever on PSP. Like, I thought that was so cool. Like, I got Family Guy episodes on my PSP.
Family Guy UMD.
Like, that's so dope.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't even know how many episodes it was. It couldn't have been a lot.
I had Bad Boys 2 or something. Like, yeah, it's crazy, man.
Oh, man. Okay, next one. Uncharted or Last of Us?
I'm going to say Uncharted. I like Last of Us, I guess, better, but, I mean, nah. I'm sticking with Uncharted. I'm not even going to talk about that.
Have you played all 4 Uncharted, or did you play Lost Legacy?
That was the one with the girls?
Yeah.
No, I didn't play that, but
I didn't play it either.
I played all the other ones, though.
Yeah, I legit, I played 2 and I love it. I tried to play some of 1 and I was like, okay, I can tell why this was just whatever. And then I never played 3 and I've only like watched my cousin play 4 and my other cousin gave me his copy and I've never even installed it.
That's what happened to my 4. I gave it to somebody wants to play it, and you know, games like that, they don't come back.
Yeah.
It's like you say, you ain't even ever installed it. So it's like,
yeah.
You know.
Because with Uncharted 2, I thought it was a good length of a game. And then 3, I don't know why they never get 3, but then 4, everybody's talking about how long it was. And I don't remember what else came out that time, but I was like, man, I can wait. Like, I'm not tripping. So maybe one day, probably not. I say that a good deal.
Yeah.
NBA Street or NFL Street?
NFL Street.
Ooh, why NFL?
Because, man, NFL Street was just so much fun, man. I used to go to my homie house and they had it on GameCube. We would play like 4 people at a time. You know what I'm saying? It was a good time. I mean, NBA Street is classic too. But yeah, I miss NFL Street the most. And also, I think it was relatable because we would play football outside on the side of our house too.
All right. Xbox controllers or PlayStation controllers?
PlayStation, I guess. I don't know. Xbox controller feels pretty good to, you know what I'm saying, in your hands. It's a little less of it's a bulkier controller. So when I'm playing on the Xbox, which is not often, my hands aren't hurting as much trying to, you know what I'm saying, if that makes any sense. But I play the PlayStation the most, so PlayStation.
I can dig it. Last one. Midnight Club or Need for Speed?
Midnight Club. Midnight Club. That's easy. Midnight Club Dub Edition was so heat, man. It was so much fun, man.
Yeah, that takes the cake over any.
Man, that's crazy.
Any Need for Speed.
And Need for Speed got some classic Need for Speeds that are like, yo, this was you know, like, but that Dub Edition, boy, woo. I had that mug on the PlayStation. I had it on the PSP, but I even had that mug on DS, which I've never played because it was ugly. But
them old DS games, man, that 3D was ugly.
It was nasty. But yeah, that game was classic though.
Yeah, I can approve of that answer. Midnight, like you said, Dub Edition was like, man, what?
It was so, and it was like that was the thing of, you know, what was going on in the world at the time. Era. Yeah, for sure.
And that big timer song at the front. Yeah, go real big. Oh, real big.
That's all it was about, man. Crazy ass 24.
Man.
And all that.
Had the Escalades on there, the Hummers and stuff. Boy.
Spinners and shit.
It's like, that was probably like Forza has some good lineups, and it's hard for them to get a lot of licenses these days, but like Dub Edition had like anything you really cared about.
Rims, cars.
Because they had Lambos on there too, didn't they?
Yeah, it was all kind of cars, man. That game, boy. And then they had came out over the years with like DLC and stuff for that mug too, so it was like other places you could go to do races and stuff. Man. And they had those pink slip races on there where you could take people's cars from them and stuff, man. That game was that was something else, man, boy. I want them to remake that.
Man.
That'd be tight.
Man, talk about games I wish I didn't trade in,
man,
boy.
Because that mug it's definitely a top game. I feel like I have it on my Xbox 360 at the crib, like the digital version of it. But I'm not sure. Yeah,
man, I might have to go on and find a copy and put the old PS2 on it. Boy, dang.
That was crazy.
That mug fried.
It had a good, like you said, because it had that Big Timer song on there. It had T.I. song 24 with Twister on there. The soundtrack was lit. The cars was crazy. The stuff that you could do. You could put airbags on cars and hydraulics, man. That game was...
Say,
man,
boy.
Come on, man. Come on, man. That game was so classic.
Say, talk to me, man.
So classic.
Oh, man. Well, there is... That's all I got on those fronts. I know, talking anime real quick. I didn't check, but I guess there was a typhoon out in Japan, so they had delayed the release of My Hero Academia this past Saturday. I think it might have came out by now, but that was kind of weird. I mean, it's, you know, it's, obviously a typhoon's a serious thing, so I didn't even go check up the episode, but I'll have a little opinion on that, I guess, next week. We gonna have some stuff with that, I guess, talking My Hero, put some stuff out there like we like to say, but yeah, man, anime fall. I know Food Wars season 4 is out or coming out.
I've been missing Food Wars, boy. I've been thinking about Food Wars for a minute.
This past Saturday I was watching Toonami. They got Demon Slayer on there. It just started. They got right now. Toonami has Demon Slayer, They still were playing Super, which is like at the end of that. Fire Force is on there. Black Clover's on there. Dr. Stone. Like, all the heavy hitters are on there right now.
Yeah.
So it's a good lineup, man. And, you know, we always talk about dub and sub and da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, and I always watch stuff sub first. So, like, the Dr. Stone dub, I was kind of like, man, I don't know if I like these voices or not. But then, like, the Demon Slayer voices I thought were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it depends on what company it goes to. Like, Funimation voices, like, I always know those. I know my guy, Johnny Young Bosch, which is the, people would know him from either Power Rangers, the second Black Ranger, or he played Ichigo on Bleach. And he plays, Vice, is it Vice or Bash or whatever, from Trigun. A whole bunch. He's done a lot of voices in anime over the years, like dub voices. But he's, Tomioka, one of my favorite characters on Demon Slayer. So that was pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
But you still gotta watch Demon Slayer, so I don't even know I'm talking to you, man.
Yeah,
you shouldn't even be recording right now.
No, man. We gotta watch that one.
If you haven't watched it, you gotta watch it,
I'm
man.
still trying to get through MasterChef, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Forget all that.
I love cooking, man. I love cooking shows. I don't actually love to cook.
Yeah, but I was like, you like the looking at the look of the cook.
I would cook if I had a better kitchen. Like if I had a kitchen like on MasterChef, or you know what I'm saying, it's like a stage kitchen. Then I would cook some food and shit. But regular kitchen style.
Yeah. Man, my mom had a chance to. She was trying to go to like culinary school back in like when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, it was like in San Francisco or something. I don't know. When you're a kid, you just hear what your parents tell you.
Yeah.
So like, there's always times where I'm like, man, if my mom would have just went out there, like I probably would have been in California right now. I don't know.
That would have been tight.
Random stuff like that.
Yeah, but instead you're here and then waiting on it to turn summer.
Yeah,
waiting on
already.
it to turn winter in the middle of winter.
That's so goofy. But on that note, man, I think this was cool. If you like us, follow us. Black Nerd Planet. Patreon.com, Black Nerd Planet. $1 a month episodes.
We really
early.
We really need those reviews on iTunes for sure.
iTunes, man.
That's for free.
Apple Podcast, I guess we should say, because it's Apple did all these weird changes and stuff. But your podcast app, if you have a Apple phone, give us those stars. Give us your comments. DM us some stuff, feedback, whatever, man. All love out here. If you like love, I think I do.
Oh man, we out. Man.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.